Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. So I picked up a pretty big client job this weekend, so uh, I'm excited about that. That's always nice. But can't do that here on stream. Figured we'd just spend a little bit of today just sketching, just having a little bit of fun. All right. Get back to the ink sketching. It's been a while since I've done one of these for stream. So let's see. I actually have no idea what we're drawing today. I just uh we'll just eyeball it. My audio sound good? Hold on, let me turn this up a little bit. I think there. That's a little better. All right, my bad, my bad. Okay. Hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. There we go. Gotta move the chat in front of me. Yo, what you up to? Make it even more OT? Shoutouts to Copic Marker for sending me a bunch of multi-liners. Colored multi-liners, which I need to start using because I'm starting to pile them up. Oh yeah, the collection came out. It's still in my Steam cart. I picked up two small personal or private commissions, and then I picked up a really decent size commission. One of those like it can carry me for like half a year kind of projects. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna download this fucking game. I'm not even gonna download it. I ain't gonna play. Yeah. I actually didn't hop onto Steam. Like I've had a Steam account for so long. Like ever since I think like since Steam like came out. I made an account back in the day. Never used it. And I was hesitant to switch over just because I never wanted to have games on the same computer that I work on. Um because I was worried about the temptation. And even now that's still kind of true. Like you see I uninstall like Master Duel all the time, right? Yu-Gi-Oh. But I have found that because um I can safely invest money into powering up my workstation, it actually makes more sense that I use Steam to play games because it's just like then the tax deductible money that I spent building my and upgrading my computer and stuff, I could use that to play games. So, um, but from my understanding, from what I've been reading on Twitter, it's all the same. Why is okay? Never mind. I thought we were having some like visual issues here. Anyway, how are you enjoying it? All that to the side. How are you enjoying it? Being back in real talk, the majority of it's cross platform, right? The online combat or the excuse me, the online combat, the online play is cross platform. Yeah, I know Power Stone 2 no, it's just Power Stone 1, right? Is it the bundle that's going to be coming out? Is it going to be Power Stone the different bundle, not the MVC bundle? That next thing that's coming out, is it just Power Stone or is Power Stone 2 included in that? Cuz if Power Stone 2 is in there, oh my god. I think I would be more hyped to get a working copy of Power Stone 2 with online play on my computer than fuck. I think I'm more hyped for that than MVC. No, never mind. Forget I said that. I changed my mind. That's just because I haven't. That's because I haven't gone back to play it. It's sitting right there in my shop. Like I won't even check out on my wish list on Steam because I don't want the temptation of it. You know, this last quarter of the year is like my conventions are done, right? This last quarter of the year it was supposed to just kind of be me not like relaxing, but like taking it a little bit easier. But you know, somebody comes along with a project they want to pay me for, got to take it. Isn't it pretty universal that that's the best in regards to mechanics? That's the best fighting game of all time. Shit. I mean, I could always just buy it and then just not play as long as I have it in my Steam library. Okay, so I want this character's head turning down a little bit. So if your head's turned down, you don't when the head's turned down, you don't see like the parts of the neck. If it's turned down a little bit, you see like the trap start to protrude out the side, so there'd be a little bit of a like of that, like that. Yeah, I know I saw someone talking about that because I think the quote physical copies, um, I'm not sure exactly where. It's somewhere overseas. Like they have the available physical box copies, and it's just a download code. Okay. One thing that I've been practicing is, and I'm not quite efficient at it yet. One thing I've been practicing is starting with the silhouette, so outline shape, to get the overall form, and then filling it in. Because you guys know when I draw, I'm usually just like a printer, right? I'm just like everything, 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 everything. Um, I'm trying to change it up a little bit. So we're gonna try to do these drawings starting with like the outlines and then filling it in. See if we can get a good shape first. I don't know. It's just some exercise shit that I need to try. So when you open it up and it's just like a little code, because that's I think Halo Infinite was like that, right? Or did Halo Infinite have a CD in it? I can't remember. I bought the metal tin from Best Buy. I believe, as per your recommendation, um, because it was cool. I like that. Okay, okay, yeah, we have it up on display, in our living room. We only have space for the cool things in that tin. Yeah. One of the only games you own on your Xbox. I I can't believe I was able to convert my wife to a PC gamer. Like we're not. I'm not the kind of person who's just like it's fucking Android Apple or PC console or Xbox Play. I'm just like, look, man, all of it's overpriced. You guys pick the practical one and get on with your life. um, the one that's practical for you. And my wife was always about like consoles, and I always told her, I was just like, you know what, you just it's just the way things were going at the time. I was just like, look, things just getting so expensive. Just let's just build a computer. So I was able to convert her over. And a lot of that I think for her came from like shoot, very, 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 very poor when she grew up. So she just always wanted consoles. So it comes from like a non practicality is not important. It's more about like like you and me, we could emulate MVC2, right? We can get all these games if we really wanted to, like a Dreamcast emulator or whatever. But we'll still spend that money to just get the real copy of it, even though we probably have working disc versions in older generations. Oh, I also saw that they didn't patch any broken combos. I saw I saw you could still do some Magneto bullshit. So how's the online population for it? I would imagine it's not. Oh, that's an ugly fold right there. I was trying something here, like, mm, good. I don't like that fold right there. See, with that weird fold right there, now I have to put something on like her belt or something to justify that weird bulge. I was gonna do like a fold outwards, but I fucked it up. You know, I was talking about League of Legends with somebody at a convention, and they're like, "Yeah, I've never played it. I've been wanting to. Is it like new player friendly?" And my immediate reaction was just like, "Hell nah. If you this game is like these game some of these games have been out for so long. If you're new, it's like it's like you don't even want to bother playing online because you're going against people who have literal decades, plural, of practice. You just can't, you know. Or if you do, what's the point? You're not gonna be able. You're literally not gonna be able to do anything. You're gonna move forward. You're gonna try to block, and they'll like low sweep you, and then they just infinite combo, and you're done. Like that's how it's gonna be. So just, or if you're playing League of Legends, it's just like nah. I had a very old man moment at the gym. I was just on the stair stepper or the yeah this little stair stepper, get my 20 minutes in at the beginning of my session, and I was just looking around, and and I just had this like weird moment where I was just like, man, I miss the vibes of old gyms before before it became cool to start working out, and I just had this like wave of old man nostalgia rush over me. Yo, what's going on, man? Yeah, like I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I don't pay attention to like games. I don't pay I don't keep up with news. So when I saw the announcement of it, I was like blown away. I was like, this. I think my initial reaction was, this shit ain't real. They ain't gonna release this fucking game. I had this game hostage for so long. they're not going to release it in a bundle because my cynical brain was just like, they're not going to release it in a bundle. What they're going to do is make like an anniversary thing and then release it as like a AAA title and just, you know what I mean? That's what I, if they ever re-released, especially MVC 2, in my brain, my cynical brain was like, if they ever do release it, that's how they're going to do it. Oh, we're talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or that whole collection that came out. Speaking of games, since it's Sunday, I'm actually supposed to be quote taking the day off, right? And I told my wife I was gonna play Coral Island with her, which that game's hella good. I mean, other than the fact that it's buggy and crashes every 5 minutes. Um, so yeah, she's like still asleep right now. So whenever it is that she wakes up, I'm just gonna bounce. So until then, hang out here with me. Oh, that's cool. Wow, so it has. I wonder. I wonder if you get like the Steam version, if you're able to like root those, if you're able to get like those image files off of like off the game. I mean, I guess you could just screenshot them. I heard League of Legends brought up. Checking that fighting game. Um, no, if my memory serves me right, they had a demo of the League fighting game. I forgot what it's called. My bad. I'm not that into League these days. Um, damn it. too short. Oh, why is my life like this? Give me a second while I try and fucking fix this. The solution. Fuck this drawing. No, we have to try and solve this. I made a mistake here because I wasn't paying attention. I was like kind of like thinking about video games and talking to the chat. That's my fault. Just make the back leg longer. No, the back leg isn't the problem. It's the front leg that's the problem. Okay, hold on. You know what? Fucking. That went straight into the trash. I need to take a breath. That pissed me off pretty bad. You know what my problem is? For some reason, lately I've been feeling nicotine again, man. That's not what this specific problem today is. I just messed that up because I'm not good at drawing. But I'm talking about in general. I've been feeling that shit again, that nicotine. I'm actually gonna use it as reference because I was liking how it was looking, but I messed that up, and that would bother me forever. So we're actually gonna here, let's dissect where it went wrong. Okay. No, thanks for the YouTube sub. Tell the demons to back up. No, I couldn't even if I wanted to. I don't want to, but I couldn't even if I wanted to. The it's not just the smell of like cigarettes. Have you ever when you vape, there's like that lingering. How all energy drinks have like that lingering whatever. That distinct taste. All vapes do kind of have that distinct. It's like a fragrance that kind of floats in the air. Yeah. Um, my wife is extremely sensitive to stuff like that now. So even if I wanted to, which I don't want to, I couldn't do it. Well, welcome to Chris's demon streams today. Remember how yesterday we had a very like educational perspective stream? This is me evening out the universe. It's me evening out the universe. We're talking about some bullshit. Nah. So what I was wanting to do with this character is I wanted to have her face pointing downwards, right? This is why you see like the under part of the nose. And then that shifts the ear up. So yeah, that stream was really fun though. I did record it. Like we streamed it, but I recorded it at the same time. The recording is a much higher quality, but I'm actually going to edit it down and kind of I'm gonna get rid of all the dead spots and just keep like the information parts in it, and I'll separate it. It'll be like a properly edited video rather, and I will upload it to YouTube. I think the real time on it is like almost 5 hours. I think I can get it down to like an hour, like, but we'll see. One, two, three, four, five. Aaron, welcome. Aaron asks, do you have to be an LLC to manage art commissions? You're trying to understand the art business. You don't have to have an LLC for anything. You could file as just a normal sole. You don't even have to file anything if you don't feel like it, honestly. Like, I mean, like, you wanna do this as like a real business, you're gonna do it like a real business. But if you're just taking, say, a couple $100 a month in commissions, the IRS would love to see that, but honestly, they ain't gonna miss it. So if it's not really your like your job, um, and you're just getting some side commissions, that's just like it's basically saying, your cousin asked you to change their oil, and they gave you $20. You're gonna go and report that. You want to understand the art business? That's how a lot of independent artists operate. But if you want to do it right, properly, you can do it as just a sole proprietor. You don't need to. Too much of the foot was showing. You don't really, I mean, unless you heel strike, you're not ever like that. You'll kind of be, you'll be like, almost like, how do you say, like there's be a gradual, and because it's a drawing, you want to give it movement, you want to exaggerate it, right? It's gonna be almost that look to it. So I should probably stop out right here. Right there. Why do I suck? What are taxes like for full-time artists? Those kinds of questions are gonna, like, the answer to that kind of stuff is gonna vary, like where you live, you know, where you live, like even in California, different counties have different tax rates, you know. Um, oh my god, I don't even know how to answer. There's so many factors. It's basically, in short, the answer to that is gonna be, it's gonna be very specific to your scenario. I don't own like any other small businesses or anything, so I don't actually have anything else to compare it to. Being an artist is the first time I've ever done like this kind of taxes. Um, so I don't have anything to really compare it to. All I know is there's a lot of little things that I end up paying in or deducting. They're so specific to like what I'm doing for my particular work. So the other mistake that I made, you see how this leg is supposed to be forward, right? This goes back to the contour line thing we were talking about yesterday on the perspective stream. You see how the skirt is going downwards like this? Well, if this leg here is moving forward and going up, this skirt right here should actually, the high point of the skirt in the stride should be going up on this leg here because the leg's going up. But I did it going down here. And I think, I'm not gonna lie, I think that's what fucked me up the most, because then I got confused. It should be like that. Siren, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay. We could also do away with the skirt idea. We can do the easy thing and give her leggings. When we do that, we basically just drawing a nude legs and then coloring them black. Or we give her baggy pants. So the question is, you notice in some of your videos you just have prints to sell. Have you ever tried to sell other kinds of merch? No, I am not interested in other kinds of merchandise. Um, I mean, uh, I think the only thing that I would dabble into is like clothing, and half of that would be because I want to wear clothes that have my artwork on it. So half for me, but no, in regards to like, so you're talking about like when I go to like events where I have like an artist table, a Comic Con, an Anime Con. No, I have no interest in selling keychains and stickers and stuff. It's not something I care for. Guy, what's going on? Let's have a little morning sketch. Yeah. So Aaron, what kind of stuff are you wanting or interested in selling? Because you're talking about, I assume you're gonna try and go to like the convention circuit to start selling your stuff. God, exaggerate her who move it a little bit. I think the last sketch we did, she was a little too close. Like her body was too like scrunched up. Still trying to figure that out. I always thought people couldn't survive with just prints alone. You could survive off anything. I think the difference is a lot of what you see when you go to those artist alleys. Let's be real here. Most of that shit all looks the same. You go 90%, it's all the same. And a lot of the time, the thing that carries it is sexuality or popularity of the artist selling it. Um, so I'm talking about when it comes to prints. So I think one of the reasons maybe if you do hear somebody who maybe went full prints and didn't do well is because honestly there probably was nothing special about their prints, and that's all kind of all it comes down to. Yeah. But yes, there is a huge oversaturation of artists who sell art prints. Um, and I feel like convention goers, they may be laymen in regards to they don't have like the eye for art, but frequent convention goers, anime fans specifically, they've seen everything. So you got to give them something different. If you don't do that, yeah, living off of prints will be hard. I have, I mean, other than prints, I have sold original ink drawings. Though, and then original ink and graphite, and I take commissions at cons, which is also a dying thing. Yeah, I was listening to an artist alley interview a couple weeks ago, might have been months, but it's developed into like a core memory at this point because I think about it so much. The interviewer was asking the person being interviewed is somebody who frequents the artist alley as an artist and they sell their stuff. Um, the interviewer asked the artist, "Do you take commissions when you're at shows?" Because it was an interview just talking about their business in general. And the artist said, "Oh no, that's not in my skill set." And I was just like, "So drawing is not in your skill set." So you thought about trying your local con, which is good to start with a small show, and wanted to know if I can just get by with either watercolor paintings or lentic. Okay, people do pay for original stuff, one of a kinds. I argue that if you have subject matter wise, as long as it matches the crowd that you're selling to, so you go to an anime convention, if you got nothing but like original characters and they're all fantasy genre, probably not going to do too hot, right? This is like that's like if you go to like an import car show, you buy a booth and you're trying to sell a bunch of pony stuff, like that's not going to work, right? So I think subject matter wise, as long as that fits with the particular crowd you're going to, um, and you're selling nothing but originals, I think you can get by because anytime I have originals, I always sell them because people want that one of a kind stuff. But then you also have to think about if you go to a bigger show, you're gonna have a lot more people, and people are expecting to spend more money. If you go to a small show, like a local thing that you have, people are gonna go there. They're not expecting to throw like 400, $500, 200, on a single item. So you should totally try it out. You should keep it really inexpensive when you start. But if you're not able to move your originals at a fair price that you want for them, I honestly wouldn't take it personally because if it's a small local show, people aren't coming in expecting to spend that much money. So you can't, yeah. But originals move. I'm a fan of people who bring original stuff to cons. If you can just get by with other watercolor painting, and let's see. I kind of just wanted to see how Dominic, how Dom's my boy. Um, yeah, Dom's my buddy. He's very very good at managing his his business and brand. I over the years I've kind of realized that I kind of just don't care about that kind of stuff. I I would rather sit here, you know, at home with my family and draw uh and talk with Malcolm about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 than go out there and try to be Mr. Brand. It's just not me. I tried it. But if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there's a lot of artists you could talk to. But the thing is a lot of them don't like to talk about how they run their stuff. Um Fair play, right? Um well, he how do I think his brand, you know how earlier I was talking about you can get by with just prints if one you offer them something I literally said this. I said either you are giving them something super unique or two you're just really popular. Those are the two things that I said, right? His brand, his name has gotten so big in the convention circuit. He just has to show up somewhere and it doesn't almost at this point doesn't matter what he brings out. So you could look at what he does and try to emulate it, but it's going to be confusing to you. It's going to be hard because there's stuff there that doesn't make practical sense because a lot of people buy emotionally rather than so like when people buy an iPhone, a lot of them buy because they're like brand loyal. There's emotion behind that. A lot of people who are like, "Oh, I love this artist." They'll just buy because they like that artist. And he's at that point where he's so popular that he could release fucking anything and people will buy it. So, just tread carefully when you try and look at some of these artists how they're running their business because they have an element that you just cannot account for. Yo, what's up? But it never hurts to ask some of these artists who are very very good with their brand like him or I don't know. I I can't think of anyone at the top of my head, but yeah. So in short, my advice would be you're gonna want to talk to you're not gonna want to talk to me about this stuff. I don't really prioritize my brand and business side of stuff anymore. I just like to draw, and I just like drawing cool shit, and that doesn't actually translate to good business often. So I could stand here and give you like my decade of experience, but real talk, there are better people on the business. Regards to the business side, there are better people you could talk to. I'll give you my best advice, but that's just what it is. I'll give you my best advice, honestly. But 100% there are better people you could ask these questions to. Okay, so we said that the skirt will go up here, not down, because that messed me up last time. I had scrolled through an artist alley vlog that one of my friends released, and like every artist alley vlog these days, they all look the same. They have the same like color palette. They all use the same music, and they were all just. I was watching it, and I was like, this country's going straight to hit. No, just kidding. I just don't recognize it anymore. And I was like, man, this is times have changed. I'm so old now. Get off my lawn. No. So, if you go around to YouTube and you see these people who are doing artist alley vlogs, and you know what the kind I'm talking about, they all kind of sound the same. They're very like got a little dingly music in it. Honestly, they're the ones who are thriving in the current artist alley world where you're talking about other products like stickers and stuff. Those are the people you actually want to ask about this stuff. I don't know if they'll answer you, but they're the ones you want to ask. Well, I think I accidentally solved our leg problem. I didn't I, I didn't measure this out right, and now her leg's just off the page. So I swear to God I didn't do that on purpose. But I guess that solves our issues, right? We'll still give her some stockings, okay? We'll give her some stockings. You hate that some artists don't want to talk about how they do their thing, like it's a secret or something, and yet stream what they live on YouTube or what. And there's a lot of artists who don't. I mean, it's their income, right? I could understand why some people wouldn't want to do it. I didn't mind ever. I never mind talking about it because I had no interest in staying in that field indefinitely. I didn't really want to stay in conventions forever, so I didn't give a shit about talking about it. If some people are very, very, and I'd like to keep that stuff very close to them because they're like, oh, this is everything I have. That's fair. Um, Nobody has an obligation to talk about their shit, but um, all I gotta say is, if they're not willing to talk about that, and you watch their videos or you hear them talk about their Instagram posts and stuff, you imagine what else they're not saying. What else they're not telling you? Hey, what's going on? Good day. Haven't watched you in a long time. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a long time consistently. I appreciate you coming through. Yeah, we're just hanging out this morning, just kind of sketching. I'm kind of just waiting for my wife to wake up. Oh my god, I forgot about the channel points. I forgot that was a thing. What are you at? Oh my god, I forgot channel points existed. The concept of it. Aaron said you're speaking your soul. You want to just draw, earn money, and work a normal job. Hey, how about this? How about this? Consider that the moment you have art as a job, do you know how much of your time is going to be spent actually drawing things that you don't want to draw? A surprising amount. Whether that is making products for conventions or client work, right? Or if you just get a job that pays the most, that requires the least from you physically, mentally, you go there, get your paycheck, you come home, don't fuck nobody at work, none of that stuff. Just come home, and then whatever your free time is, if that's just 2 hours that night, but you get to draw whatever you want. I don't see what the problem is with that. Because the moment you require your artwork to provide for you is when it's not fun anymore. To an extent. I mean, you're always going to enjoy drawing. Maybe you enjoy the hustle of getting client work and all that. But like sometimes you just want to draw. See this newspaper? See, it's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it. There's a convention over here. But you won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. So you're new, the more I mean, oh well, everything's hard when you first start, right? I mean, you just said that you're a beginner, which means actually everything should be kind of complicated to you. There's just like there's concepts, especially if you're trying to learn a lot of things. There's a lot of concepts coming at you, and you're just like, shit, like there's a lot of ideas, and you'll know which ones to grasp onto, and you'll hear a lot of different ways to do things from different people, and like different methods do work. So you're just like, what do I do? They could be contradicting methods, and they can get the same result. So starting as an artist is going to be hard. So, I mean, good. That's good. That means you're trying to take in information. You ever hear of the artist curse? The artist curse is like the artist curse is you're at a certain level when you start a drawing, and then you know no matter how difficult the drawing is, by the time you finish it, maybe you achieve what you're looking for, maybe you didn't, but by the end of it, you're a better artist, which means that the next time you start something, you'll be at this high level, but then when you finish it, you'll be at, you'll have learned something new and you'll be even better, which means you're never ever going to be as good as you want to be. You're just mildly entertained with your progress and then you die. Um it seems I'll just fucking with you. Um it seems like it's almost impossible to do it correctly, so you just use helper. You should be using perspective grids. You should be using the grids and the lines to help you learn. That's the only way to learn. You should, like, if you're just learning, you should be using reference. You should be tracing over artists that you like. And as you trace, as long as you're being mindful about, like, I used to trace how Art Germ draws eyes. I used to watch his live streams. He used to, I don't know if he's still streaming, but he used to stream on livestream.com. And I used to like watch, and then I would like take a screenshot of the thing he was working on that day, and then I would just like put it on my um in my drawing program. I think I was using Corel Painter at the time, and then I would just watch how he did it, and then I would trace over as he did it, and then I would just kind of learn, oh, that's why he does this, that's why he does that. So you should be tracing and trying to understand why certain things are done. You should be using grid lines and boxes, and you should be using all that shit all the time when you're practicing. That's like trying to learn how to tie a shoe, but nobody ever showed you the first time. The fuck? you know, do you still need to think a lot about it on your level? Does it come naturally? Um, the technical part of it comes naturally to me because like I could picture the grid, the perspective grid here because I've done it so many times. Same thing. If you tie your shoe, like when you first start tying your shoe, you have to like sometimes you have to hum a song, but then after a while you don't need to hum the song anymore. That's all it is. Um, I have issues with like concepts. So like for me, what we're doing here, I, I'm struggling here because I'm just like I don't know what I want to draw, right? So I'm like, all right, I have a person walking. This is obviously a sidewalk. I'm just all right. Cool. We're making some progress. Now what do I do? So concept wise is where I really tend to slow down. But on the technical stuff, nah, it's pretty much second nature to me. But as you saw earlier, um, I could still fuck it up, right? Like this is so earlier when we started this drawing, I started with this one right here, and then I messed up on the skirt and I messed up on the foot just because like I explained what happened, but I made a little error and it like threw me off. And that's a simple thing, and I still fucked it up. It still happens. So, in regards to learning, what subject are you mostly interested in learning these days? Like, what's kind of taking priority in your like your study time? 23 Diamond, how's it going? My bad, I couldn't see your name. It showed up like super dark blue on my chat box. So my bad. I see you. I'm unfamiliar. I'm sure I know that artist. I just off the top of my head I can't visualize that. Drawbox courses. Do it. Do it. Were you here for yesterday's live stream? We did like a 5 hour live stream talking about perspective. To be fair, 2 hours of it was me ranting about how 6 point perspective is the explanation to the universe. But other than that, there was some good information. Anybody, but I'm more talking to I'm more talking to oh my bad. I was confusing um Aaron. You know what? It's because your names are the same color and like the same length in my chat box. There you go. One of the exercises has your drawing boxes around a sphere. Recently spent a lot of time on that because the perspective of it messes with your brain. What time did you stream yesterday? You're looking for you didn't see. Oh, yesterday we started at like 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I'm gonna I recorded the stream, so I'm actually gonna re-upload it in like an edited version. So I'll cut out all the fluff and it's just gonna keep the information. I'll probably edit that later today. It'll be up at some time this week on YouTube. Yes, that is better. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Thanks for the detailed responses. Thanks for all the no, of course. Like, you got me here, right? You already got me here, so why not? So when back in the day when I was doing like a lot of original concept work, and I would draw like an entire scene, and there would be a lot of people in those drawings, and I used to have this little cheat where I was like, how do you make a character seem interesting? Because you want to just have them standing around, you want to have everybody doing something, right? One of the things that I would do, I would just have someone smoking a cigarette, because that way you could at least just have them standing in one spot. And if they're smoking a cigarette, that's an entire story right there. You know what I mean? Looks like that person had a rough day at work. Looks like that person had a good day at work. You know, I don't really do that anymore. I've kind of defaulted to just drawing people on their phones. That's kind of more accurate these days, anyway. You go by the same name on YouTube. Um, I think there's a link to my YouTube in my Twitch profile. That stream is on private now, by the way. It's because I'm going to edit it and re-upload it, so the actual stream itself is on private. You're at a stuck spot. Oh, what's going on? I've also been trying to draw. Um, I don't want to say fat people, but like I used to draw a very similar body type over and over and over, and I never really paid attention to it. So I'm trying my best to change it a little bit. He's awake. Hold on. Ah. Why am I so bad? What am I doing? Whew, save that. I almost fucked that up again. Need to spend a little time on walking gesture. So obviously, if I'm having trouble with it today, it's something I'm a little rusty on. I'll have to make a point to work on that a little bit later today. Oh man, that's like you don't know what to work on, what type of skills you have. Well, I mean, I think when you're stuck like that, you, there's no real like full on answer, but it's more like what what would you like to do in the long term? Like, would you like what kinds of things would you like to draw? I know it's hard to imagine like years from now, but like what kinds of things do you think you would like to draw? And then based on that, just reverse engineer it and be like, okay, well, at this current moment, I can see my future self drawing a lot of machinery. Well, I better go practice some industrial design stuff. Well, all right, cool. And then just start breaking it backwards from there. This looks like an anime, a frame from an anime closing credit. I'm interested to see the angle of the sidewalk, and the angle of the two characters are going to work in this drawing. Yeah, okay, so just real talk, I already messed this up. So I will just go ahead and break down. So everyone, because I didn't have this figured out when I started. You know, we're just goofing off today. Um, every she's out. God damn it. Yeah, I went too aggressive on the perspective here. So basically, because every line that you draw when you're freestyling, the perspective of that is dictated by the line you drew before, right? So I drew a straight on static character here, right? Just straightforward. So that made it hard already because I didn't give any like wiggle room. So when I wiggle room to do anything interesting with the perspective, right? So right now we're having something like this. Horizon line would probably be about right here. So given that, you should be able to see the top of her head, but you can't. but it's not a big deal. We can disregard that. Um, so this character is like this. He's like this, which means all subsequent characters would probably be like that, like that. And as we get closer here, no. See, everyone should still be at like a bit of a tilt. I don't want to draw on that. So by the time we get to like the other side over here, you should almost see them from the side. Hopefully that makes sense. Assuming I mentally make it to that point in the drawing. Before I say, fuck this, let's play MVC2. uh, you're writing a book. Oh, you're writing a book. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it would just come down to like what is it that you want to do? Like, look at like I mentioned, like long term, and then you just have to reverse engineer that. And if you can't quite figure out what it is you want to do, well then, you know, don't go to college unless you know what you want to get a degree for. Should be. Well, I mean, I don't really see what the problem is. Like, if you are drawing realistic stuff, um, already, then you can just like, that's what no style refers to real life, right? So stylizing something means taking what your knowledge of real life and then just stretching it a little bit. So if you're already practicing real life, you can go look at some character design stuff, courses, tutorials, and then you can start stretching and changing the designs of your realistic characters. But you can keep realistic things about them. You can keep the musculature realistic, but you could like give them cartoonish faces. Not like Bugs Bunny ass looking faces, but like accentuate the size of the nose, things like that. But the fact that you're studying realism is already good. Ha! Did he take it and run, or did he fulfill the Kickstarter? Oh, he fulfilled. All right, that's cool. As long as he fulfilled the Kickstarter. But with that level of momentum, I would not have disappeared. I would have been like, well, 800K. All right, let's fulfill this. And while you're fulfilling that, I'm gonna be over here thinking about how we're gonna get that next 800K. Like that's Oh, I think you're missing some basic skills that you should have learned because you're self-taught. Well, I mean, most artists are self-taught these days because the information is available. What I like to do is just I make a literal list of things that I suck at. For example, I noticed today I'm having some issues drawing feet in a walking motion, which is something that I know that I've practiced in the past, but it was the past. It's a while ago. So I made a little note to myself that I'm gonna have to work on that for like 20 minutes later today to kind of refresh myself. Um, so like if you're having issues, you could make like a literal list, not mentally list off. I'm like, no, fucking a literal list of things that you haven't practiced or that you know you suck at and that you should practice, and then just go practice them. Eventually, the list will get small, and then you'll stop sucking at those particular things. You can make a brand new list after that. Oh, he's like a big YouTuber. Okay. Well, I mean, what did I say earlier? A lot of people buy art out of emotion and not um like they buy art out of emotion and not necessarily quality. Just because they buy out of emotion doesn't mean it's not also quality. But my point is, I I have basically lived in the art field for over 10 years now. Like it's everything to me. And one of the reasons I just stopped, like I mentioned earlier, I stopped caring about obsessing over like my brand and all that is in order to, you know, be that popular thing, I would just kind of have to behave in a way that I personally don't like. Um, so you can look at his Kickstarter and that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of things there that won't apply to you, like from a business standpoint. I'm all right. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate that. I just like to draw. I'm just here so I don't get fined. What's up? Do you have a reason why you started to or like drawing in the first place? Oh yeah. I started drawing because I liked anime. And I liked Yu-Gi-Oh, and I used to be a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I was drawing on playmats. No, I started drawing heavily because uh, I just enjoyed it more than what I was doing at the time. And yeah, also, not too long after I started drawing, one of my friends took me to an anime convention, and my first anime convention, and then he took me into the artist alley, and he was just like, "Hey, these people, all they do is travel. All they do is travel and make a bunch of money." And I was like, "But these people suck." He's like, "I know. You could suck too." No, no, but yeah. So one of the biggest influences I had was like when my buddy took me to the convention and he showed me. This was like a couple months after I had started like kind of sketching around and putting up YouTube videos. Um, I was just happy to draw like anime stuff and I was having a lot of fun. But my buddy showed me, he's like, "Yeah, you can make a hell of money and you could travel." And when he showed me that convention, that's when like the gears in my head shifted. I was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna do this." So I hope everyone's doing. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. What's everyone doing today? Malcolm's not gonna answer because you know he's. Oh no, are you? He's probably. I know he's playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Is he on a controller or is he using a hitbox at home? Let's see if he answers. So I went to Sheffield and then I did like a little city hop from Sheffield to London um in February, and I've had the image of like train stations trapped in my head for like months, and I haven't been able to sketch out any of them. So I'm kind of just taking all the different things that I can fucking remember about those train stations, and I think I'm just gonna start applying them into this drawing here. Um, yeah, never had any inspiration. The only thing for you is you struggle writing or doing anything. Oh, I see. You know, sometimes I hear these artists with these really grand inspirational stories about why they started drawing. And on one hand, I don't believe them because it's like too grand, right? It's like too much, you know. But also, um, if that is true, you know, those kinds of like, I was born to do this kind of stories. Um, Not envious of it necessarily, but I think that's fucking cool. Like have you ever met somebody who's been playing the piano since they were like 4 years old? You know, sometimes I sit here and think, man, if I had done anything since I was four, how good would I be, right? Oh, you're at the gym. Nice. Shit, I messed up. How do you keep yourself interested in a? How do you keep yourself interested in in a drawing? Is the question. That's a very good question. I lose interest in drawing very quickly. I've lost interest in this drawing like 30 times since we started this stream. But you just got to finish it. It's part of part of it. It's like okay, so that's like if somebody okay. That's like that's like if you ask me how do I avoid getting really mad. I don't avoid getting mad. I just know how to live around it, right? So as an artist, you're gonna lose interest in things that you're drawing. You're gonna lose interest in projects that you may start. You're gonna lose interest in like if somebody hired you to do a commission. You're gonna lose interest in it, but you just gotta do it. That's all it is. So like the answer is I lose interest in drawings all the time. I do. Like that's just how it is. Okay, I've kind of lost my I've lost my grid in my head here. So some of this looks a little off up here because it is. I've lost the grid, so we're gonna have to recenter here. No, I had it. Fuck. You just want to buy a trailer and stream and create art for the rest of your adult years. I I'm all about that. I mean, like if basically if I didn't meet my wife, I would be living in like a little studio box, right? It would I used to sleep on the floor just because like I didn't want to burden my brain with extracurriculars. Um, I'm so domesticated now. But yeah, I'd be living in like a little box, right? Doesn't matter how much money I made at conventions, I just stay in the box, and I'll just draw. Probably for the best, not probably, 100% for the best. If somebody didn't like tie me down and like get me to like relax and domesticate me, I'd be dead. I'd be dead. Instead, I get to sit here and draw for you people. I said you people. How hard was it to build my website? Well, I'm using Squarespace. I'm horrible at it, but I able to make it look pretty okay, but I haven't been updating it. I would recommend that you get somebody to build it for you. Um, I am just not good at that kind of stuff. Like I'm not good at like design, like to get the website to look appealing, right? That's why mine's very just straightforward. Click here, here's like a list, here's like a gallery of like stuff. There's nothing very pretty about it. It's not very visually appealing in my opinion. So I think you should definitely find someone to build it for you. Or if you have a friend who's good at it, you can do that. How hard? Mad respect for the background. Do you use reference? I'm currently not. Um, I have like I've had these images of train stations in my head for a few months because I visited a place in February and I haven't been able to like get them onto a page. So right now I'm trying to remember all the train stations I hit up on that one trip. So this is kind of like a mishmash of the different train stations that I went to. What is the best place to make art print inventory? That's gonna vary from person to person. Like size, paper quality, quantity. There are some places that are good and inexpensive, but they're gonna require you to print a lot at one time. you know, like a lot. Uh Cat print, CAT print online seems to be the kind of go-to for people who want to make prints of various sizes, and they have good quality stuff. Um, that seems to be the general go-to for most people. I have friends, they go onto Alibaba and print their shit overseas because I'm in the US. So they have their shit printed overseas and they don't care what happens to their files. I'm like, nah, I don't want my files sent over there. You're like, I don't need, you know what I mean? So, uh, knock it down. What's up? Lasagna. Oh, that sounds hella good. I baked some bread yesterday. No, that was 2 days ago. We baked some bread 2 days ago. Slap. So good. Drawing something from memory alone is super difficult. When now creating one from your own imagination alone. I mean, this is all of this comes from just practice, right? So like I what I practice most, like in my sketchbooks, like when I'm traveling for work, is this kind of stuff. So I appreciate that. I really do because I do work on this kind of stuff a lot. But that's why I excel at this one particular thing. Earlier this year, I picked up watercoloring and oil painting. Don't even look at those. I swear to God. uh, but no, I appreciate that. Yeah. So I think that my point is, you said you aspire to be like this. You can, like, everyone can get really fucking good at something if you just work on, especially if you figure out if you're fortunate enough to figure out that one art thing that you like you're like, wow, I have a high aptitude for this. I enjoy it and I'm good at it. Shit, and then you just go all in on that and get really, really good at that thing. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Like basically, if you don't have to force yourself to sit through an online course to widen your knowledge of like a particular skill. So like I'm not gonna get into detail, but there are certain topics that I have books for, and I force myself to have to read through them and take notes versus like all my my framed ink book, my like my Loomis books and my Scott Robertson books are all jacked up because I sift through them a lot. Those are the topics you want to practice and get good at. The ones you have to force yourself to learn and sit through, probably don't want to dedicate your life to that kind of stuff. Uh, I'm not I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like, what was giving you a hard time with it? This looks like a bus because I can't remember what the front of the trains look like. I believe they're flat. This is one of the things that I probably should go look up a reference for, but it's like too late now. So I think the front of the trains are flat. It might be one of those Mac Peterbilt issues where one of them's flat and one of them, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to really, really keep control here because gonna have to really try and keep some control here because we're doing a curvilinear perspective. I don't know if you could see it, but the straight line's here, and it's actually gonna bend the further out we go here. If I'm not careful with my next set of strokes here, if I get too aggressive with the curve, we could end up with like fucking sideways stuff right here. Really easy to get carried away. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm very careful with how much I curve these next sets here. But I need to go get some water. My fat ass been talking too much. Okay, pause my music. All right, everyone. Give me a minute to go refill my water and then also get rid of the current water I'm holding. BRB. Uh, here's an ad. I can't segue into it. Here's an ad. Okay, we're back. I also had to feed my dog. She's like a monkey. She loves bananas and jumps around everywhere. Also, the boy got himself some food too. So, uh, we'll go ahead and munch on this really quick. Won't take me more than like 2 minutes. And then we're gonna really like buckle down and finish this because it's been 2 hours. We barely got anything in this drawing done. So already, okay. So like we can just go over this really quick. I already know how the rest of this drawing is gonna go. Okay. So when you're freestyling like this, like when you're eyeballing it, you're freeballing it like this, you always have the area that you start like here's the working area that I had, right? So I started off with a character. The problem is I was drawing her just straight on, which did not leave a lot of space for like to play around with the perspective. Um when you're freestyling like this, like you see like Kim Jong-gi or what's his name? Dong. I can't remember his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name rather. Anytime you see somebody drawing like this, their perspective is dictated by the lines that they drew before. So I drew her just like straight up, which, perfect box, straightforward, right? Which didn't leave a lot of space for creativity. So my next line was this curved line right here. And then I started to draw my lines fanned fanned in like this, which meant I'm now committed to doing and they're a little bowed like this, right? So now I'm almost committed to having like this perspective here, which is like a curvilinear 5 point, right? And then it gets more aggressive. That's why I said as we move further out here, I have to make sure that I don't start bowing out too much because by the time we get to the corner, I don't want it to be like crazy distorted. That works for some things, but this is just a casual picture. Um, but ultimately, the reason I went with going with gray ink was because I knew uh that I was probably gonna fuck this up because as you saw earlier, we already messed it up. uh, so sometimes I like to go with gray ink behind the main subject because it can kind of like see how it looks like the ending of an anime if you're just like walking and you see the credits over here. Yeah. So anyway, I like the look of having certain things in black when you're working with brush, but certain things in darker colors and certain things in lighter colors. So anyway, you hear my dog whining? Yes. Lay down. Lay down. All right. Anyway, all that aside, let's go ahead and finish it. Finish up this sketch. What's my favorite outro? Man, that's a tall order. I don't know. I didn't think about it. So another thing I messed up. So there's scaling is a big thing here. So you see, I had this bridge that I put here. Originally, I was gonna have it as like a walkway, like a hallway, structure. But then because I drew the train so big, now I have to think scale wise. I'm like, okay, well, how big would people be? Mm, you know what? No, no, no. We're gonna keep the old design. Let me fix this real here. Um, any suggestions? I don't know. I don't really watch other streamers. You could also just catch me on a day where we draw mech. Yeah, I don't really watch I don't really watch other streamers, so I can't really. Sometimes you just gotta commit to the line. Oops. Next song. Hold on. Hold on. My dog is whining like something fierce. What? Hold on. I may need to take my dog out really quick. Give me a second. Okay. She just had to go. She just had to go. Dog had to go pee really quick. All right, we're back. So, with the given space that I have, like given space by the space I gave myself, I think one thing. Oh, I need to finish drawing all the bricks down here. Um, we want to give it a little bit more life, right? So we want to draw more people, and I think. What do you see at a train station? Rolling luggage. Okay. How's the gym been treating you these days? I have also been going consistently to the gym. Finally got back consistently. We'll add some like wear and tear to the bricks, make it seem more lived in. It's very sterile right now. It's really clean. Newspaper littered throughout train stations, and the city's bad when in the back there's a barrel with fire in it, and there's one person. Like when Neo fights Smith in the subway station. Man, there's paper everywhere. That's not supposed to be New York, right? In the Matrix, it's just supposed to be generic big city. Yeah, that subway station or that subway in the Matrix, it's all filthy and falling apart and grimy. Can't be New York. That's way too nice for New York. God damn it. Hold on. Hey, my bad. I stepped away for a second right when you started the raid. I appreciate it. Yeah, so today we're just sketching a little bit this morning. How's everything been? Sketch look sketch looks so pretty. Thank you. You're away for a couple days, now back. Yeah, I stopped streaming consistently for like like a year and a half. Yeah, I know. How do you not smear everything with your hand? I'm right-handed, so I start drawing on the left and move my way this way. That's that's the actual answer. I've done a lot of like I've done I've done like painting where like I'm right-handed, so I'll start like right here, and I'm just like shit. It's such a struggle. Who was anyone TwitchCon this year? That's this weekend, right? I did not get accepted to. Oh well, anyone who's US side. Is anyone at TwitchCon San Diego? I was supposed to go to the other TwitchCon, not the San Diego one. I actually got accepted into the Artist Alley, but travel issues, I couldn't go. Appreciate the follow. Thank you. Yes, that one. Oh yeah. I I like to listen to particular music when I work or stream, and that particular music is not very stream friendly. Uh, and I don't feel like using different devices to do my stuff, so I just keep the music off. You guys can always turn on your own music. I find that's much more practical. Let everyone use their own music. Oh, you were there? Yeah. How was it? I know that it was the same. No, no, no. I'm thinking of Dokomi. I was supposed to do TwitchCon over there, but I was also supposed to go to Dokomi in Dusseldorf, and um, there was a football event going on that weekend, and it skyrocketed the flight tickets to like $4,000, and every hotel was sold out. And I was just like, looks like I'm not going to Dokomi this year. Yeah. Okay, so we probably see half of one track. So the total of one track here, unless we're doing just a single track on this instead of having it go back and forth, because that looks like a small gap. Like a two train gap is like huge. So I think we'll treat this as just one track. So you should be able to see both sides of the rails visible. Question is, am I drawing a specific place or from imagination? From imagination, I well, more so memory than imagination. I went on a little trip earlier this year. I went to a bunch of train stations, but my destinations were Sheffield and London. Um, so I was doing a lot of train hopping, and we don't have a lot of trains, or yeah, we don't have a lot of train stations here in the U.S. So to me, it was kind of a cool visual experience because uh, the way some of them were constructed and laid out, I really I say I enjoyed it. It was very visually interesting to me. So I'm trying to pull up different things from all the train stations that I can remember, and I'm just kind of smushing them all together here. I don't know what these little dingle dangs are, but I noticed that on the sides, and again, I don't know if they're just part of the concrete that are sticking out, right? If anyone is like a train engineer here, um, on the tracks, I see these little things sticking out the sides. I never know what those were, but I remember seeing them. And so I'm doing my best to pull from my visual library, my memory, the different things that I remember seeing at the train stations on my trip. Um, I appreciate the raid. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure you had a really long stream. Go get some rest. Thank you for bringing your people over. Let's move. I have my keyboard right here. Let's move this out of the way. Like it's like you earned the shower, right? What? No, I did not. What did they do? Here, instead of not what did they do, what did they get hit for, rather? Actually, why do I keep spinning? So a rail is like it's like an eye it's like an I beam, right? Rails are like I beams. So if that uh that sucks. That really sucks because a week of income, not just that. Well, the way the internet works these days, algorithm wise, you off for a week, it's a wrap. Hey, probably watching the Sunday service on their website. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to get into another man's business, but I could have sworn they were doing pretty well. Remember when DT first launched? It was almost it was like completely home website based. And I know that the potential reach on other websites is much higher, but but man, so you wouldn't be dealing with all this kind of stuff or the stuff that they're always dealing with. How far apart how far apart are train like the planks of wood on a train track? Because on cartoons they're hella far from each other, right? But I'm gonna go like I'm just gonna say it's right here. I'm gonna say that's close, about right there. It's fascinating how Twitch is not um profitable, so they say. And by they, I mean the new CEO. By new, I mean last year. He just came out. He's like, "Yeah, we haven't been making money on Twitch. Twitch doesn't make money." I'm like, "What are you talking about? How do you like?" I believe you. I'm just like, "How, bro? Like, come on." I have a 47K on YouTube. and that's why we've been multi-streaming all of these platforms. Eventually, we'll get the axe. Just got to be prepared for that. No all in on any one. No, like other streaming services. Yeah, thankfully I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff because I don't. Well, I did get. I remember I got that ban on TikTok because we were doing a multi streaming and we were doing figure drawing, and by figure I mean figure, not nudity. There's no anatomy on those figures I was drawing. They were figures. They were mannequins, and I got the hammer on TikTok because I don't know. They hit me with adult content and nudity, even though it was one just drawing and two no nudity. Crazy, dude. Especially with what they have going on there. But thankfully, my TikTok live has been restored, and now I've just added I added it to my multi streaming on my Streamlabs. I'm not even paying attention to the TikTok chat. If you're in the TikTok chat right now, whatever. There could be like a million of you right now, and I ain't even paying attention. I also stream to Kick. I'm also not paying attention to that chat. Actually, I think the Kick chat is integrated with my bot right now, so I think we're okay there. Like I'm also on like Picarto. Yeah, I was just like I'm gonna stream everywhere. I don't give a shit. I'll pay $100 a year for this. I'm gonna use it. Hold on. All right, my bad. I had to take care of something. So we're back. This should be able to finish this uninterrupted. Yeah, I'm. If I had to just pick one, I hope Twitch doesn't. Twitch never listens to anything that I say, so um, YouTube is the one for me. Like, if there was one, I'd be like, okay, well, if I couldn't multi-stream and I had to only pick one to put all my invest all my Shinji tears into, it would be YouTube. Or did they play his video? His his live video? Is that what it was? No, no, no. I'm talking about um the on like the thing that got them hit. Was it because they happened to play at the time that video, like on the show? You think that's what it was? Okay, yeah. I guess we'll find out, huh? Hey, man. Their Twitch days are numbered when he starts promoting that plain black tee with the white logo again. Like, oh no, this again. Things must be tight. It's just one of those things where it's like, look at what some people get away with here. How could even if they did play the audio of that video on their stream on their show, look at what people get away with here. Like, I know that one person doing something is irrelevant to what somebody else does, but it's just kind of like, hey, if it were tilted like this, where the character was at an angle instead of straight, how she's straight standing up. If it was like this, she was tilted. That'd be heat. Gonna try to copy the floor brick pattern from the other side. I was drawing a lot of like round pattern on the left side and then on the back archway. So I want to make sure that like that right there. It's just like a little thing, right? But I want to make sure if I have it like a round shape up here, which is the ceiling, round shape here, I want to carry that over here, like underneath this portion here. We could make it flat, but if we already have like this pattern underneath this section, we should just copy it here. That it's like those little things that will make a big difference. It's like, oh yeah, this is all just like one setting. But if we have this round here and then that's round there and this is just flat, it's not like a big deal, but it's like a plus to carry that kind of design over. Mainly because like if you go to a place, that's how it's going to be designed. I'm messing this up. As we get close to the end of this drawing, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. We're here probably another half hour. Appreciate everyone for hanging out, keeping me company on this Sunday. What is everyone up to? My convention season is finally wrapping up. Um, and I'm very fortunate I was able to pick up a couple of bigger projects. Um, now that the convention season's over, so I'm very fortunate that I was able to find more work beyond the conventions right at the perfect time too. So and we have a lot of brick in the like the structure of this entire place. So anytime we have like empty spots here, we'll use brick pattern. Um, Train station, there's like signs everywhere, little warning signs, direction signs, like legends and Oh yeah, if they try to stream on YouTube, super problematic with like copyright strikes, right? YouTube would probably get them on there, just like the little tune they play at the beginning of the streams and their videos. Um, YouTube probably get them on that. Yeah, I have like 8-year-old videos, 9-year-old videos that will occasionally just get hit for like no reason, and then I'll just mute that song and then if I replace it with something, eventually it gets hit again. I think the problem was back in the day, those those royalty free songs, that the copyright free, the royalty free stuff that was available back then, eventually probably fell into the hands of somebody else over time. So I think what YouTube has in their current like library, that weak ass music, I think they have it now. You know, my most popular video on YouTube is I think from like, I don't know, 2014 or something. Super old. It was before I even did the Pokemon drawing. It's like a Disney princess drawing. It's like my most popular video, like by far. I always like, my buddies have always said, "Yo, that thing was so like, it's crazy how like popular that video is. You should totally redraw it now." And I'm just like, there's certain novelties to like there's a novelty to it that if like if I were to redraw it, then you can't do it again. Like you can't, like if you have like a really popular old video or old drawing and you're like, oh, I'm gonna draw this again, except modern. You can only do that so many times before people are just like, all right, cool. It's like in Rick and Morty, the first time they jump universes after they Cronenberg up their own, Rick is just like, we can only do this like 2 times max, right? Like that's what that is. So there's a lot of old videos on my YouTube that I've been tempted to kind of redo, but I'm just like, I'm just gonna hold on to it, and one day, like when the time is right, when the iron's hot. Next song. I'm actually I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm fascinated how that's gonna go because because my my first thing, my first reaction mentally is it's going to be staged, right? And by staged, it's going to be like in round one, this will happen. In round two, this will happen. It's not like they practice it like a dance. It's basically like bullet points, you know, like when somebody has to throw a fight. They're like, yeah, you can, if you get a knockdown in round five, right? But then just act like you get caught in round six, and then wobble, and then so he'll hit you, let him hit you flush round seven, and then you just stay down, you know, something like that, but they don't practice it. My initial thought is that's what it's going to be. But those Paul, like, I don't think that the Pauls have the character to pass up the opportunity to to hurt an old like Mike Tyson, even if he's old, you know, classless kind of move. I don't see them passing up the opportunity to do something like that, whether or not it was agreed to. Um, and people who think that Mike can get him out of there, I don't think people really get how old Tyson is. And it's not just that. The Pauls, they're all on PEDs, man. Like you're not just against somebody young, decently trained because they have the money to be trained, but they're on PEDs. I mean, like it's that's what has me fascinated how it's gonna go. I'm just like, what way is this show gonna go? It's gonna be a bunch of nonsense. It's gonna be garbage, but I'm fascinated. See this magazine? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it. It will definitely be a circus, yeah. See, the reason this section here is not um very warped is because it's riding right on the horizon line. This whole section right here is basically flat. There's a slight curvature to it, like that, but it's really close. So we don't really have to worry about too much curvilinear stuff. I don't like this right here. This size is off. He should be much bigger than that. Unless he's just a short guy. There you go. He's a short guy. Really got to make sure to put the cast shadows on everyone. Huge difference when you don't have that. Normally, you don't need to be putting in like every individual brick like this, but it's a pretty empty space there. So we'll just put like, doesn't have to be perfect. Just gonna fill in the area with all the little bricks, and then I'll go back in with a brush and just kind of like what I did here, add some like textures or some wear and tear just to make it seem a little more lived in. Also to fill in a lot of this white space here. All right, I think that's okay. Let's add a little bit of wear and tear on the floor over here, and that'll be it. See, pretty fun, right? The hardest part is getting started because like I mentioned before, every line that you do, the perspective of that line, basically everything about the behavior of the line that you're going to draw is dictated by the line you did before. So if you're not thinking at least a little bit ahead, you won't make life real difficult. Basically, you're gonna make it like how my life was when we first started this drawing. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and it wasn't until like 2 hours in that I finally decide, oh, okay, I know what to do. I had a lot of ideas going through my head, like that I want to make this indoor or outdoor. Anyway, Jory, what's going on? No, we just sketched this here on stream today. Good to see you though. So we'll hang out for a couple minutes. If you have any questions, throw them at me now. We're gonna be good kids, and we're gonna raid somebody. Okay? Oh, big burp. I have some friends who are online, but fuck them. We'll go get some new blood. Let's go find some new artists. Let's find some traditional artists to raid. Actually, it was more like a wallpaper on screen than I saw. I can't find anyone, so we're just gonna go raid somebody I know already. All right, everyone. So we're gonna let the raid do its thing. So we'll be hanging out for what we got, like a minute left. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. This was fun. Yeah, yeah. And we'll come back and do another sketch tomorrow. Probably something like this. No. Anyway. Yonzies. Malcolm, have a good one, all right? Enjoy your game. All that OT is paying off. Thank you everybody in the YouTube, thank you everybody in the Twitch. And we're gonna shoot the raid off to Oak Tea Party right now. And catch y'all tomorrow, all right?